All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the July 13th, 2022 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District. The time is 6 o'clock p.m. Please mute your cell phones if you would. That includes me. Pardon me. And we'll now open and take roll call. All board members are here for the record. And if everybody could please stand and join me in the flag salute, and please remain standing for the invocation after that. Can all please join me in honoring our great nation? Ready to begin?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If Chaplain Miranda could please give us an invocation.
Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for your grace, your mercy, the great love that you have shown us, Lord. I thank you for this meeting, all these people that are here. I ask your blessings upon them, especially those that have to make decisions. We pray that you give them wisdom and discernment, Lord, and that they would serve the Chino Valley with integrity, Lord. So we lift that up to you. I also want to pray for, I believe, some people here that are attendees. I think there's 2 new hires, and so we ask your blessing on them and help them as they get started. And also we're going to be acknowledging some people that have been with us for a while now. I believe one has been here 20 years and one has been here 30 years, Lord. So again, we ask your blessings on them and their family, and we pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
May all be seated. Thank you, Chaplain. Clerk of the board, do we have any changes to the agenda?
We have no changes to the agenda. First item on the agenda, presentation and announcements. Employee Service Awards, 15 years of service. Captain Sean Higgins is first on our list. However, he was unable to attend this evening, but nevertheless, we'd like to recognize him.
Well, I'm still going to talk about him, even though he's not here, because it's a fun thing to do about people when they're not here. Captain Sean Higgins was hired with the Chino Valley Fire District in July 2007 as a firefighter paramedic. Sean was promoted to engineer in March of 2014 and a captain in August of 2019. We would like to thank and congratulate Sean for his 15 years of service to the fire district.
Next is firefighter paramedic J.R. Ryan, also 15 years of service, and he was also unable to attend.
We'll read a little something about JR as well. Firefighter paramedic JR Ryan was hired with the Chino Valley Fire District in July of 2007 as a firefighter paramedic. JR is currently assigned to Medic Truck 61B shift. We would like to thank and congratulate JR for 15 years of service to the fire district.
Permit technician Caroline Murray, also 15 years of service. Carolyn was not able to join us, but also we would like to recognize her.
All right, we're batting 1,000 here. Permit technician Carolyn Murray was hired with the Fire District July of 2007 as an office technician in the Fire Prevention Division. Carolyn was promoted to permit technician in October of 2014, and we would like to thank and congratulate her for 15 years of service to the Fire District. Now this guy knows here. Yes. I saw him. I saw you in the back there.
Our next service award recipient is for 30 years. Firefighter paramedic Jeff Herringer, please come forward.
Firefighter paramedic Jeff Herringer is a 30-year veteran of the Chino Valley Fire District. Prior to joining the district in 1992, Jeff was a paid call firefighter with Orange County Fire Authority from 1985 to 87, a firefighter with Norco Fire Department from 86 to 87, and a firefighter paramedic with Hawthorne Fire Department from 1987 to 1992. During his tenure with the Fire District, Jeff has served 12 years as a member of the executive board of the Chino Valley Fire Professional Firefighters, in which he was president for 4 years. Jeff has also served on the executive board of the Chino Valley Fire Foundation for a total of 27 years, in which 10 of those years he served as president. He's also been a member of the U.S. Search and Rescue Team and the Hazmat Team. When Jeff is not at work, he enjoys spending time with family and his wife, Kathy. He also enjoys hanging out at the beach, by the river, or up in the mountains. Congratulations and thank you for your 30 years of service to the Chino Valley Fire District. So 30 years, gets the big ceremonial axe. There you go. Congratulations. Chief.
So I want to take a moment and say thank you to Jeff. When I came to this organization, he really embraced me. He's a man with a wide depth of knowledge. He's really, really good at what he does. It's fairly unique when someone comes into the fire service and they decide to commit into one area, and Jeff has done that very, very well. I know that I still have some time in my career to go. This axe that he's holding is really a testament to his commitment in his longevity in this business. I don't even think I'll be able to accomplish that for myself, maybe not. But I think it's a testament to who Jeff is, his commitment to this industry. And Jeff, we want to thank you. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for your service and your beautiful wife back there. So thank you very much.
Sure.
Get a picture with the president real quick?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's more important. That's more important. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next, we have two new hire introductions. First one is Finance Director Mark Shaker. Please come forward.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce our new Finance Director, Mark Shaker, who has started his career with the Chino Valley Fire District in May of 2022 and brings with him an impressive combination of education and diverse municipal government experience. Mark holds a master's degree in accounting as well as a bachelor's degree in business administration from Cal State San Bernardino. He started his career as an auditor in an accounting firm in serving county, cities, and special districts and non-for-profit organizations throughout California. Mark has also held leadership roles in budget and finance for cities and special districts as well. Mark has over 12 years of local government finance experience. His professional expertise lies in the understanding of local government budgeting and financial projections. He has prepared in-depth financial analysis and has developed complex financial modeling tools to help visualize the potential impacts of policy decisions, one of which we'll be discussing later tonight. His focus is on long-term financial projections and capital budgeting to provide the highest level of service to the community while maintaining a strong financial stability, which is one of our, I think, our core values here at Chino Valley Fire District. In his spare time, Mark also enjoys cooking and spending time with his wife, Maggie, and two daughters, Maya and Mila, who are here. And how old's Mila?
7 weeks.
7 weeks old. So she's a little bundle of joy back there in the corner. So congratulations very much. Welcome aboard.
So again, thank you everybody for being here. If you're not aware who Mark's predecessor was, he provided tremendous value. So his shoes, in my mind, were going to be very hard to fill. So I want to thank the leadership of our board. I want to thank the executive team who took the time to really sift through the applicants to fill this role. This is a vitally important role for our organization. It's really about how we keep things fiscally sound. I can tell you that from the bottom of the state to the top of the state, I feel like that we got the very best that's out there. So I'm very, very happy that Mark was actually willing to say yes. He has obviously a lot going on in his life right now. He's got a 7-week-old, so we're very, very happy that he was willing to say yes to our organization, and we believe that he's going to help take us into the next era. So welcome. I'm very, very happy to have you. We've developed a really good relationship right out of the gate, so I'm super excited, and we see some good things coming.
Thank you, Chief.
You got it.
Our next new hire introduction is Emily Geddes. Please come forward.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce Office Technician Emily Geddes to the Chino Valley Fire District. Emily was born in La Habra and raised in Rowland Heights. She currently resides in Ontario with her son Aiden. Emily graduated from John A. Rowland High School. Emily attended California State University Fullerton, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communicative Disorders. Emily worked for the Automotive Club of Southern California for 7 years prior to coming to Chino Valley Fire. She joined us on June 6th of 2022 and is currently assigned to the Community Risk Reduction. Her customer service skills are a great asset to our team. In her personal life, Emily enjoys family time, hiking, scrapbooking, and visiting national parks. How many have you been to?
I don't even know.
All right.
Too many to count.
Please welcome Emily Geddes to the Chino Valley Fire District. Sure.
So I don't know Emily well because she just started, but what I can tell you is the one word that stuck out to me that I've seen day in, day out is the word customer service. As I walk through these front areas to go out to lunch every day, and I'm greeted with a smile, and I watch the interaction with all of our constituents that come in. So thank you very much. We're very, very happy to have you, and the same thing, we look forward to really, really things. Thank you.
You want to take a quick picture?
Yes, yes.
Welcome aboard.
Next item, Hometown Hero Award.
All right, so tonight we are recognizing members of the community. This is kind of a very special night in this aspect. We are recognizing members of the community who rendered aid and immediately initiated CPR on a community member in a cardiac arrest. And we're going to talk about it tonight from the time the incident happened all the way through. I'd like to invite Deputy Chief Jeremy Alt to join me up front.
All right, thank you very much, President Krieger. I'm actually going to yield the podium in just a minute here to firefighter paramedic Ryan Porosanian, and he's actually going to share quite a bit about the night. But I will begin by saying that all the things that we work to do here together as one organization, the top of that pyramid, if you will, or the greatest calling we could fulfill is the opportunity to save a life. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight is an opportunity that we've had, a program that we have that continues to do that. But to begin with, that system that Ryan's going to talk about wouldn't exist without a system of support behind it, and that starts from the board and our fire chief all the way down. So on behalf of our entire cardiac care program, we want to begin with thanking you for providing the resources to accomplish that, and also providing and thanking our community and our people that actually accomplished that mission. So with that, I'd like to invite up firefighter paramedic Ryan Porosanian. I'll take my seat back over here. We're going to turn it over to him to kind of walk us through the rest of the program. So.
All right, good evening, everybody. First of all, thank you, Chief. Thank you, management staff. Thank you, Board of Directors, for making this event happen. Just some special thanks before we get started. Thank you to our EMS Captain Pete Roebuck, Donna Rohr, Steve Burns, and near and dear to my heart, our high-performance CPR cadre. A lot of time and effort has gone into this, and this is a very special and I'd say monumental event for us, and so we're grateful for everyone's presence here tonight. I have the honor and privilege of sharing a story of survival with all of you. So on April 11th, 2022 at approximately 6:30 p.m., a community member was playing racquetball at a local gym. During the racquetball match, this individual suddenly collapsed and went into cardiac arrest. His heart had stopped beating and he was no longer breathing. Gym members quickly recognized the problem and activated the 911 system immediately. Working collectively, the gym members and our 911 telecommunicators determined the need for life-saving CPR measures to be delivered to the patient. Gym members were instructed to retrieve and apply the facility's public access automated external defibrillator, or AED. These good Samaritans followed the instructions provided by the dispatchers and worked tirelessly to continue CPR while the AED was being applied. The AED analyzed the patient's heart rhythm and advised that an electrical shock needed to be delivered. Following the AED's recommendation, a shock was administered and CPR was resumed. Shortly after, the patient had begun spontaneously breathing on his own. The gym members and the dispatcher's efforts had helped restore the patient's heartbeat and ensured that he would have the best possible chance for survival. Members of the Chino Valley Fire District arrived at the gym and verified that the patient had a pulse. Now let me be very clear, this is a unique situation for our personnel. because it's not uncommon for members of the Chino Valley Fire District to perform CPR on cardiac arrest patients for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and beyond. This was a unique situation for us. However, our crews recognized that the patient was still in grave condition. In fact, the moments after restoration of a pulse following cardiac arrest are often considered the most sensitive period of time. There's a high probability that the patient's heart will stop beating again, if not managed and treated with exceptional care. Chino Valley Fire District crew members paid careful attention to detail as they prepared the patient for expedient transport to Pomona Valley Hospital. During transport, the Chino Valley Fire District provided remarkable ongoing advanced life support care in hopes of assuring that the patient's heart would continue to beat on its own. And it's during this particular phase of patient care that can often mean the difference not only between life and death, but between life with good or poor neurological outcome if the patient is to survive. CVFD personnel performed at a high level. They demonstrated sound decision-making, and they placed the patient's best interest at the forefront of their actions. Their efforts ensured that the patient would have the best possible chance for survival. Upon arriving to Pomona Valley Hospital, CVFD personnel transferred patient care to emergency department staff, providing them with a full detailed report on the nature of the incident. Pomona Valley Hospital has a long-standing reputation of providing world-class treatment to cardiac arrest patients. They once again demonstrated their commitment to providing exceptional care. Over the course of this patient's stay at Pomona Valley Hospital, their staff worked hard to stabilize the patient and determine the most appropriate course of action to ensure that the patient would not only survive, but would survive with good quality of life. And this is exactly what happened. After receiving extensive care and treatment, this patient was discharged home alive and well. And so when I think about this case, ladies and gentlemen, it reminds me that it takes a system to save a life. A system that relies on its community members to be trained, equipped with AEDs, and willing to help one another. A system that relies on its 911 telecommunicators to recognize cardiac arrest and provide timely CPR and AED instruction. A system that relies on its fire department to deliver the most effective and efficient response to cardiac arrest. All of this was demonstrated during this patient's story for survival. To take it a step further, this patient received top-notch post-cardiac arrest care at Pomona Valley Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, this patient was clinically dead. And not only did he survive, but he is alive and thriving today. And I'd like to introduce you all to Mr. James Albers. Mr. Albers, we are honored to have you here with us today, and your story of survival inspires us all to continue our relentless pursuit to see more lives saved from cardiac arrest in our community. So what we would like to do now is call up our hometown heroes. So we have a few awards that will be given out because, again, we want to highlight the system. As you can see, we're passionate about ensuring that each link within the cardiac arrest chain of survival is strengthened, and we take an opportunity to celebrate these events as we come across them. So I'd like to call up Laura Chan Lane and Mark Cardoza, please. How are you? How are you? So the first links within the chain of survival revolve around our community members. And in fact, at the Chino Valley Fire District, what we've determined is that our community members are not viewed as passive bystanders. We see them as immediate responders, ordinary people capable of doing extraordinary things prior to the arrival of their fire department. And what Laura and Mark did on that day is simply extraordinary. And so what we're going to do is recognize you with our Hometown Hero Award, but I want to give you a little bit of background on the significance of the Hometown Hero Award. So words matter to me. I like things with significance, and I hope the significance behind the award resonates with both of you. So the Chino Valley Fire District, in partnership with our nonprofit Chino Valley Fire Foundation, seek to recognize community members for providing life-saving medical care prior to the arrival of Chino Valley Fire District personnel. Developed in 2021 by members of the Fire District's Cardiac Care Program, the Hometown Hero Award highlights the efforts of individuals who initiate critical medical intervention such as CPR, AED use, relief of a foreign body airway obstruction for a choking victim, and tourniquet use and other bleeding control measures. Nomination for the award is initiated by Fire District personnel, so it's our people that are in the field that actually do the nomination. Whom, while operating on the scene of an emergency, take note of the heroic acts community members take to increase survivability from cardiac arrest, trauma, and other life-threatening emergencies. Fire District personnel submit a written request for nomination to members of the CVFD Cardiac Care Program for review. Not only does the award seek to recognize the extraordinary efforts community members will take to help save a life, it also aims to inspire others to do the same when presented with a life-threatening emergency, and the individual has determined that it's reasonably safe to act, like you guys did. To date, only 4 community members have received this prestigious award. Laura and Mark will be number 5 and number 6, and we're honored to have you both here. The Chino Valley Fire District is pleased to recognize Laura Chan Lane and Mark Cardoza with the Hometown Hero Award. The actions of both Laura and Mark ensured that Mr. James Albers had the best possible chance for survival following his cardiac arrest. We commend your efforts and hope that many more community members will follow your lead. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
So this is new for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. But we have developed a CPR Save Challenge coin, so to speak. And I just want to give you a little bit of context on challenge coins and their significance in the fire service. So the United States Fire Service has a long-standing tradition of using challenge coins to commemorate important events. And although the exact origins of challenge coins are uncertain, history and tradition explain their use as far back as the Roman Empire. During this time, soldiers who excelled on the battlefield were presented with coins that were specially minted and featured the marks of the legions from which they came. The soldiers are said to have kept these coins as mementos rather than spending them on goods, services, or extracurricular activities. In a similar manner, the Chino Valley Fire District Cardiac Care Program has developed a CPR Save Challenge coin to recognize those who have excelled on the resuscitation battlefield, leading to survival with good neurological outcome for a cardiac arrest patient. The coin bears the Chino Valley Fire District logo and 4 stars that represent the 4 pillars of our cardiac care program. And the 4 pillars are prevention, preparedness, response, and recovery. The phrase, "It takes a system to save a life," appears on both sides of the coin. This serves as a reminder that each link within the cardiac arrest chain of survival is important and integral to optimizing our community members' chances for survival. The state of California, along with our Heart Safe Community logo, represent our desire to effect positive change in the cardiac arrest arena from both local and global perspectives. The phrase, "with our own 2 hands," appears on the coin and serves as a reminder that the system in which we strive to develop, it's about our people, from the community member to the dispatcher, to the police officer, to our firefighter paramedics, and to our hospital staff. It's about the exceptional performance each one of these assets are capable of delivering with the right training, the right skill set, and the right mindset. Finally, a normal sinus heart rhythm is engraved across one side of the coin, and its relevance is simple. Cardiac arrest patients are clinically dead. Their heart activity ceases to function. All of our hard work and effort in everything we do is for the restoration of a normal sinus heart rhythm, for it is an early indicator that the patient has a good chance for survival. There is a significant meaning to this challenge coin, and we hope it serves as a memento to all who receive it. Your exceptional performance has helped save a life. Collectively, you have helped give back more of life's greatest commodity to a community member, and that is more time. So what we'd like to do now is call up those assets that I spoke about that contributed to the survival of Mr. Albers. And so we would like to start with our friends from our communication center. And so I'd like to call up Tara D'Annunzio and Kirsten Mendoza, please. You can stay here. And so we can't express our enough gratitude and appreciation for our 911 telecommunicators. They are truly the first responders. So we, if you don't know, we are passionate about training, equipping, and empowering our community members. In the past 5 years, we've been able to train over 31,000 community members. It's a tremendous feat. We're very proud of it. But the population of the Chino Valley is over 175,000 people. What that tells me is we have a long ways to go. Although our hope is to train every single community member, what we found is the quickest way to increase bystander CPR rates is through our friends at the Communication Center. And that's exactly what they're doing day in and day out, and that's exactly what they did for Mr. Albers, and we commend you for your efforts. We're grateful for all you do. And on a side note, I started out in the dispatch centers. I have got a heart for you guys like you wouldn't believe. I think you have the hardest job on planet Earth, so thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you.
We can, or do you want to do one? Yeah,
Go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Nope, let's do photo.
Do we have more protocol?
Yes.
No, go ahead and have a seat and then we'll.
I'm all for photos.
It all goes good till a chief gets in the way.
No. Chief, whatever you say. Next, I would like to call up crew members from Company 66, please. So we have Captain Andrew Simpson, firefighter paramedic Jacob Feenstra, firefighter paramedic Brian Kalusik. Now, I 100% have a biased opinion towards these people. I don't even know where to begin because the amount of time, effort, literally blood, sweat, and tears that all of our personnel have participated in over the past 5 years, we don't even know how many training sessions we've done. That's how many we have done. In the cardiac arrest arena, oftentimes people say, well, what's the silver bullet? What's the key ingredient? Or what's the magic recipe? And everyone says, there is no magic recipe, there is no silver bullet. Well, 5 years into this, I agree with that with one caveat. There are a couple key ingredients. It's hard work, it's effort, and it's a relentless pursuit to see survival rates increase in our community. And it's people like these that are doing it day in and day out, and I truly believe it's the most effective and efficient response to cardiac arrest around. And so from the bottom of my heart, I am grateful for everything that you guys do, and your efforts continue to make a tangible difference in our community. Thank you, guys. All right, more friends. I'd like to call up my friends from Pomona Valley Hospital, please. We have Tammy and Debbie from Pomona Valley Hospital. Thank you. So we as a community are fortunate to have Pomona Valley Hospital within close distance. As I mentioned, their efforts on a daily basis have been recognized, I know regionally, nationally, and my opinion, it's deserving worldwide. Their exceptional care you guys demonstrate on a daily basis. I'm extremely grateful for the partnership that we've all developed over the past few years. We're out teaching sidewalk CPR together. And so again, as you can see, it does take a system. It takes a system that includes the bystander, the 911 telecommunicator, our firefighter paramedics, and our local hospital staff. And so again, as we mentioned before, from the bottom of our heart, we're extremely grateful for what you guys do. In our job, oftentimes after 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, it's rare that we determine the outcome of the patient. One thing we've quickly determined in the past 5 years as we've started to see our survival rates increase is that although we may bring them a cardiac arrest patient whose heart has regained a pulse and they've begun breathing on their own, there is still so much more work that needs to be done. And so you guys do a tremendous job, and we're grateful for everything you do. We're grateful for your partnership, and we're looking forward to many more of these in the near future. So thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you. We're on the home stretch. So tonight marks a monumental moment for the Chino Valley Fire District. As of today, the Chino Valley Fire District's sudden cardiac arrest survivor display will reside in the boardroom of our administration building. The display serves as a reminder to each and every individual that makes up the CVFD that our collective efforts are making a tangible difference in our community. It's our sincere hope that seeing the display continues to inspire everyone to maintain a relentless pursuit to increase survivability from cardiac arrest. May we never grow complacent. There's so much more work that needs to be done. We're honored and privileged to have Mr. James Albers, our community's most recent survivor from sudden cardiac arrest, place his challenge coin on the survivor display, and we'll have him do that here in just a moment. A plaque is affixed to the display underneath the challenge coins, recognizing CVFD personnel who participated in each story of survival. Mr. Albers is our 34th known cardiac arrest survivor in our community. This is a remarkable feat. Our survival rates from cardiac arrest have once again more than doubled local, state, and national survival rates. May we take a brief, again, emphasis on brief moment to celebrate the system's success. However, may we also recognize that it is during times of success or perceived success that we are most vulnerable to complacency. May we all continue to put forth hard work and effort in hopes of seeing many more survivors from cardiac arrest in our community. Mr. Albers, would you please do us the honor of placing your coin on the display?
Over here?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Do you mind staying with us just for a little while? Kind of lied. No. We do want to take.
We're almost.
Yeah, we do want to take a big group photo, but I'd be remiss if we did not recognize our partners from Zoll Medical. They're represented here tonight by Brian Pank. Not only does Zoll have a long-standing tradition of being a leader in EMS equipment and technology, but their clinical support team has served as a tremendous resource in helping the CVFD maximize its use of equipment and data collection software. The CVFD participates in the Zoll Save Certificate Program and Challenge Coin Program. All participating parties will receive a certificate and a challenge coin, compliments of Zoll Medical. Thank you, Brian, and Zoll Medical for your continual partnership and support.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. I want to present to you these challenge coins. And to be honest with you, thank you for enlightening me on what the challenge coin really origin was. And I learn something new from you all the time. As well as the SAVE certificate recognizing excellence, courage, loyalty, and passion for what they do. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the partnership.
Sure.
So in closing, we would like to do a big group picture, fire chief, board of directors, all parties that were involved. If you guys don't mind, one more time, coming back up. Our hometown heroes included, please. Mr. Albers, would you like to write? In her name? Yeah. We'd also like Roxanne, Mr. Albers' wife, to join us, please.
Come on in.
Oh, sure, sure.
Are we just gonna stand back here?
Marcel, how's it look?
Might want to get a little tighter.
I ate a salad today.
Like prom picture.
There we go.
Yep, prom picture, that's right. All right, I'm gonna do a few with this and then that, and we're just gonna do. Awesome.
Good.
Okay, we're good?
Job, you guys. Congratulations. Really good job, very good job.
It is. It's a really good one. With that, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. If anybody wants to do pictures with anybody else up here or anything like that, please feel free to come up and do that. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to resume the meeting. You want me to? You got it?
Okay, public hearing. Properties declared for weed abatement. Purpose is for the public to comment on the declaring and noticing of property owners for weed abatement.
All right, the public hearing is now open, and Deputy Chief Jeremy, all please present your report.
Good evening, President Krieger, members of the board. The purpose of this public hearing is to allow the public to comment on declaring and noticing of property for owners for weed abatement. At the April 13th, 2022 Board of Directors meeting, resolution number 2022-08 was approved and adopted, identifying properties throughout the district to be noticed in accordance with ordinance 2022-01 for weed abatement. During the spring re-inspections, it was determined that several properties were found to be in violation of the ordinance. And as a result, those property owners were sent a notice to destroy. So now that we're on this new ordinance, whenever we have properties that are noticed, we need to have a public hearing to offer due process for those people to be heard. So in accordance with the resolution, we're to hold a public hearing allowing property owners to address the board on this matter. That being said, my recommendation, it is recommended that the Board of Directors review public comment on the declaring and noticing of property owners for weed abatement and subsequent actions and charges, as well as make any rulings on any and all objections raised regarding the proposed removal of weeds and said charges. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments on this?
We did not receive public comments.
Okay, with that, the public hearing is now closed. It's time for the board to comment. And I'll entertain any comments from anybody. Do we need there's no action required, so any comments from anybody on this?
I just was wondering, is there a minimum that they charge, administrative fees and stuff like that in regards to these taking care of weeds and stuff, or do you know?
Director Williams, I actually don't have the figure in front of me for what the administrative citations are. I know that our staff works through a process with every homeowner to reach those resolutions before they get there.
Yeah, not really important or
That's all, thank you.
Excellent. Anybody else? Then we shall move on.
Board President, I would recommend actually a motion and a vote based on the recommended action from Jeremy to essentially rule that there were no protests and for the district to proceed with the next step of the weed abatement process.
Okay,
So moved.
so we have a motion by Director Luth
And
and
second?
a second by Director Evinger. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Public communications. This is the time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address prior to making your remarks. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Do we have any requests to speak? Okay, seeing none, liaison reports. Councilmember Art Bennett, City of Chino Hills.
President Krieger, board, executive staff, wow, what a night, huh? The idea that you came up with this hometown hero is just, that by itself is wonderful. I think I've been here, for almost all 6 now. And the stories that go behind them are just, they're remarkable, they really are. We talk about it takes a system to save a life, well, it also takes a village, we know that. It takes people out there that aren't afraid to step up and help their fellow human beings. And with all of the litigation, which are such a litigious state, they're so worried about the good, I can't think of the term.
Samaritan.
Yes. They're so afraid of getting sued for doing something, doing it wrong. Well, you know what? You're giving people an opportunity to live. That's a pretty good gamble to take. It really is. But what they said about Pomona Valley, I'm a triple bypass survivor and everything. Luckily, I didn't have a heart attack. Mine, I found out through a treadmill test and ended up having a triple bypass. But I can tell you about the Stead Heart Center there. It's wonderful, and I'm glad that we can take our people. There was one question that didn't get answered. Did we take this patient in a fire district ambulance?
I appreciate the question. The answer is yes to my knowledge.
I think that should be mentioned, because response time, right? That's what it's all about. And we talk about saving people's lives and somebody not dying because they got there because you guys invested $1 million to provide for the 4 ambulances. And hopefully, have you got the 4th one now? I know it's close.
Well, it's probably sitting on a rack somewhere. We're waiting for him to roll a chassis underneath it. We're sort of out of our control, but we're still trying.
But at least you had the one to get Mr. Alvers to Pomona Valley, so.
We do have 4.
Yeah, fantastic, you have my report that we send over in advance for what's going on in the city. The main thing is obviously we have a new trash hauler, so we can talk a little bit of trash, but things so far are going okay, even though the unions apparently that represent Corona and Chino Hills have decided they're gonna take a vote, but we think it's just a strategy because they're in some contract negotiations. We've been assured that there's not gonna be any service interruptions, and we sure hope that happens because of what happened back in December. But at any rate, we've got a new trash hauler. I had the privilege of going over on the very first day, July 1st, actually riding on the first truck out of the facility, went to the Altera area and actually picked up some trash with my driver, Ryan. And he actually picked up my trash today at the house and remembered me, so it's fun stuff. And I know this has nothing to do with anything other than that. It's just cool stuff, and I'm so turned on by what happened and all that went on earlier tonight, what can I say? The other thing is, we still have a few more weeks on our concerts in the park. If we end up real fast, you might be able to catch part of it tonight. But at any rate, things are going well. We are going to have National Night Out that will involve your people. It's so great that the police and fire get together. I did give you some advance public recognition last night, and even Sparky. So we want to make sure that we give Sparky and Rough McGruff, credit for being there on the second. So at any rate, that's pretty much it. But again, congratulations to this district for having the foresight of creating these awards and for recognizing these people and having them come in here because, there's too much bad news out there. We need these success stories. And when it comes to saving somebody's life and individuals that get out there and then companies that provide the resources, the AEDs and everything to do this, it's a wonderful thing. You guys doing the right things, you always have, and just continue to do that. And have a great rest of this week and this month, and we'll see you next month, right? Maybe you're gonna have a hard time topping this meeting though.
It'll be very hard.
Thanks a lot.
I have a question for you, Art.
Sure.
Were you there at the 4th of July
Yes.
festivities?
Yes.
You were on stage?
Yes.
Okay, I was there and
I was hiding behind a patriotic shirt,
Okay.
You probably just thought I was another flag up on the stage, right?
Well, I know Ray Marquez was there, and did you speak?
No.
Okay,
They know better. They know better than do that. Look what.
That's why I don't remember you being there.
All right. Take care. God bless all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Art.
That concludes our liaison reports. Consent calendar.
All right, so we have consent calendar items number 1 through 8. Does anybody wish to pull any item on 1 through 8? If not, I will go with a motion.
Motion to approve?
Oh, I'm sorry, do we have any public comment on this?
We have no public comment.
Thank you. So,
Motion to approve?
I'll second it. So we have a motion by Director Edinger, a second by Vice President DeMonico. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Aye, so 5-0, thank you.
Okay. Old business, none. New business, item number 9, purchase of tractor drawn aerial for Fire Station 68. Purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and approve the proposed encumbrance of funds associated with the purchase of a new Pierce tractor drawn aerial. Report by Acting Deputy Chief Dean Smith.
We're gonna put a screen up, or put a screen down with an image behind you here. But let me take the opportunity to introduce this topic. The purpose of this is for the Board of Directors to review and approve the proposed encumbrance of funds associated with the purchase of a new Pierce tractor-drawn aerial. Fire Station 68 is projected to open in Chino Hills in the winter of 2024. Staff and the board have agreed that a tractor-drawn aerial that you see behind you and before you, also known as a tiller truck, is the best type of apparatus to serve the community and meet the needs of the district at large. The TDA is considered a multidisciplinary firefighting apparatus. This truck will allow us to respond with initial fire attack capabilities and emergency advanced life support medical resources for our onboard firefighter paramedics. In addition, it will provide us with additional response capabilities. The TDA will feature heavy rescue equipment such as extrication equipment, sometimes referred to as jaws of life, a full complement of technical rescue implements such as rope rescue, mechanical advantage tools, saws, ladders, in addition to many, many other tools for the trade. Unit is also readily recognizable for the large ladder atop the trailer, which provides the crews the ability to reach 107 feet of aerial operation.
107?
107. This multifaceted emergency vehicle is projected to decrease the response times for truck companies in the southern part of the district by 12 to 14 minutes. Staff and the apparatus committee have worked together to find the best quality TDA at the most competitive price point per specifications and manufacturer's reputation. As a result, the group has made a recommendation to purchase the Aero XT tractor-drawn aerial by Pierce Manufacturing. It's similar to most of our Type 1 fire engines that you see in town that you're quite familiar with. Staff has recognized that the consistency of the manufacturing platform, the motors, trans, all that type of equipment on the unit is an asset both to the support services and to the brand new CVFD mechanics that are going to be maintaining the unit, as well as providing a consistent platform for the operators such as engineers to operate on. Due to supply chain issues, as we've grown accustomed to talking about, it's estimated that the build-out time is going to be about 810 to 840 days. That's about 2 years, 3 months to 2 years, 4 months in total time. It's anticipated that in 2024, 2025 fiscal year, that unit will be delivered, and that's when those funds would actually come out of that year's budget cycle. There are two options for payments and purchase of this TDA. Option 1 consists of a prepayment option coupled with a performance bond. Option 2 allows the district to be invoiced and pay for the TDA upon a delivery, allowing the district to maintain those funds in current investment opportunities. The board, you can see before you, the 100% prepayment method would result in a payment of $1,859,472.49, which includes a performance bond and all taxes. Option 2 is a pay when it's delivered, and that total would be $1,931,804.96. Staff is seeking the approval for the purchase of the Pierce Tractor-Tron aerial and recommending that the fire chief be authorized to expend up to $2,124,985.46. That's the full amount of the quoted price for the payment option of paying at the delivery, with the addition of a 10% contingency for any possible change orders. The fire chief would be further authorized to execute all related purchase documents on behalf of the fire district. Staff would work with legal to ensure that the purchase agreement preserves all the appropriate rights and protections for the district. At the request of the Finance Committee, when we discussed this on June 27th, there was a good discussion about the purchasing policy adherence that we have on behalf of the district. We did a continued amount of homework on this and came back to realize that we would be using the, tagged on to a Houston Galveston Area Council, HGAC, who establishes purchasing agreements with the vendor Pierce Manufacturing under a competitive bid process that complies with board policy for purchasing. With the recommendation, I'm gonna share with you this recommendation then. It is recommended that the Board of Directors approve the encumbrance of funds associated with the purchase of a new Pierce tractor-drawn aerial for Fire Station 68 in the amount not to exceed $2,124,985.46, inclusive of sales tax and a 10% contingency for change orders, and authorize the fire chief to execute all related purchase documents on behalf of the district. And with that, I'll pause and be able to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Dean. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Can I make one?
Sure.
Real quick?
Say your name, address, telephone number, blood type.
And start the timer.
And it does say 5 minutes. I'm not sure that is enough time. Art Bennett with the City of Chino. I just wanted to commend the board for having the foresight of bringing this now. I had originally thought it was like 600 days, but 850 days, that's crazy. Obviously, this is the equipment that is going to man the station that we are working together on to get put into Soquel Canyon and Pipeline, Station 68. We look forward to getting this. We know that how this is gonna serve all of our residents within the city. It's an added resource that you guys need and that you have to have to better protect all of the people within the city of Chino Hill. So I commend you for doing this. I think it's the right thing to do so that you can get that thing ordered and move on. We both, the city and the fire district, are making millions of dollars worth of commitment to get this station built, and you have to have the equipment in it once it's up and running to be able to serve the people. So thank you very much for hopefully voting on this and moving it forward. It's a good move, and I'm sure that I can speak safely for the council that this is well appreciated and it's the right thing to do. So thank you.
Thanks, sir. Do you have anybody else like to say something? With that, we'll bring you back to the board for discussion. Anybody? Wynn, do you have anything you'd like to say on this?
I do not. It's a beautiful piece of apparatus.
It is that, absolutely. Director Luth.
No, it's painful to think about what it costs for one of these pieces of equipment and the length of time it's gonna take. after we order it, to receive it, but, Councilman Bennett's point, it is a piece of equipment we need to continue to perform and serve the community, so, that's the end of my comments.
Excellent. Director Evinger.
Okay, beautiful apparatus is always, yeah, gorgeous. And, I actually had a question about the payment options, and I actually did some research, and, I feel that payment at due of delivery would definitely be best for the district. That's just, thank you guys for all the hard work and for bringing it forward at this time as well, so.
Vice President DeMonico.
Yeah, after this came to the Finance Committee and got over the sticker shock of the price, it's absolutely a needed piece of equipment, and I don't know, the supply chain issues and all that. If we had to buy this in 2 years, we might be spending a lot more. I don't know, should we buy like 3 of these and then sell 2 of them in 2 years? But I would like to ask our finance.
Steve says yes.
Yeah. No, they're probably gonna be 3 million in 2 years. But, Mark, your recommendation would be to not prepay this and to invest that money and to pay on delivery?
That's correct. Due to the extensive time of build-out, we're talking about more than 2 years, it's relatively risk-free to earn a comparable interest rate, if not better. If it was a much shorter build-out time, we would definitely consider the prepayment, but, these times are just very different. And, yeah, the prepayment would it would be better to pay upon deliveries when we're talking about 2 years plus.
Thank you. And one more question. I don't know, Dean, if you can answer it or not, but this, like I talked about, sticker shock for the vehicle, do we have any idea what the equipment's gonna cost to equip this, or?
That's my question.
Yeah, I believe we estimate that to be around $200,000 right now, and that's at today's market. We are talking about a 2-year build-out, and we haven't begun, and you don't see that in the budget right now as far as any tooling and equipment yet. We would be putting that into the budget in 2024, 25.
And the reason I asked that question too was so that everybody has an idea of what this thing's gonna ultimately cost overall, but secondly, with the supply chain issues, is there any need to move forward with getting the equipment now and starting to pursue the equipment? I don't know how long of a time delay there is on the equipment. Obviously a long time on a vehicle, but to equip that, I don't know, and I don't know if you have the answers or not.
Director DeMonico, great question. We did have robust conversation during the development of this budget year cycle about that same need. And we did feel confident because we are in excess of 2 years out on the delivery of the apparatus. We felt confident to at least entertain that idea in next year's budget cycle, and then of course in the year following. So we did have robust conversation. We certainly do take your direction and heed that.
Thank you.
My questions are more for Mark again. Is the funding of this coming out of out of what fund is this coming out of, and is this not being encumbered until 2025? Or are we encumbering it now and carrying over that dollar amount for 2 years?
We're legally encumbering it now at the sign of the purchase order.
Okay.
You won't see the expense until the delivery of the vehicle and when we actually pay the cash, so likely that won't be until fiscal year 24-25. So we're encumbering the funds now. It's anticipated that it would be coming out of unassigned fund balance, but we still have 2 years to go. So as those years progress, we will be building up reserves in fund balance and spending them down on this purchase. It's just a little bit funky to think that we're signing an agreement now for something that won't take place for another 2 years, but.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were gonna be pulling funds from the replacement vehicle, the equipment vehicle, that depreciation fund that we have. I didn't know if we were gonna be pulling it out of that, or because it's brand new, it's not replacing anything.
It's currently scheduled out of the equipment replacement schedule, I think for fiscal year 24.
Okay.
But the amount that's in there doesn't cover this.
Yeah.
I think the estimates, they just keep going up every month. But the funds would be encumbered now and then transferred from the vehicle replacement plus the additional that would be needed to cover the cost.
All right, my next question and last question is for our ops chief. How often do we use an aerial ladder? I think I know the answer to this one.
So an aerial ladder on a fire itself, so it's unpredictable. I mean, it could be, 4 to 5 times a month.
Oh, that often?
Yep. And then there's constant training on it too, so that ladder's probably up almost daily training.
The answer is you don't need it till you need it.
Right, well, I mean, I thought he was gonna point out an example that we had a concrete tilt-up fire just a week and a half ago.
President Krieger, if I can also weigh in on there. So I think many times, just due to the nature of the name of our business, which says fire district, we likely think of this as being utilized on fires. However, this piece of apparatus is used on heavy rescues on freeways to cut people out of cars. It's used on over-the-side rescues in the canyon. It's used on swift water elements for any kind of ropes and knots, and the list goes on and on and on. So it's a very specialized piece of equipment that it has many areas that we utilize it on. I think maybe 4 or 5 times a month if we run that many fires, but then start tallying in all the different traffic accidents and very complex type calls that utilize this piece of equipment.
Okay, my last question is, I promise it'll be the last one. Did anybody from our apparatus committee go and ride in the back tiller part of a similar or one of these pieces of equipment?
So it looks like Deputy Chief Smith wants to answer that. Being that it's not built yet, probably not this one, but you have another answer.
Just appears?
Yeah, not this particular one, but yes, they have taken the opportunity to visit many fire departments locally, also take advantage of seeing what other manufacturers had to offer as well. And yes, in fact, our whole command staff took the opportunity to even go to local departments and evaluate each of the platforms with the apparatus committee hand in hand. So I think they feel fairly confident that those things that you probably mentioned from the past, they're confident that this would be a great platform to go forward.
Just one more comment.
Yes, sir.
It says Fountain Valley, and the reason for that is I believe we're piggybacking on the Fountain Valley order to save money and save cost. That's probably something that's important to just let everybody know that this is, we're saving some dollars by piggybacking on the Fountain Valley purchase of a TDA.
Was it Fountain Valley or was it
Fountain Valley, that's the right name.
Yeah.
Galveston?
It was Galveston.
Oh, it was Galveston? I thought it was
So,
Fountain
yeah,
Valley.
so originally we had talked about the Fountain Valley was the most recent and local apparatus that's been delivered to the local Southern California area from Pierce. And there was not, to be specific, piggyback language that was indicated in their contract. We did have to go to the HGAC to find the competitive bidding process language that we could piggyback on. So, but the images before you is a Fountain Valley unit that is very consistent on the platform that's presented that we talked about.
Excellent. With that, I will entertain a motion, and if you make a motion, please indicate that you want to purchase it and with what payment option that you're doing the motion.
I'll make a motion that we purchase this and pay for it when we receive it and invest the funds in the interim. Is that what?
That's what I'm looking for.
That's the motion I want to make.
That's the motion by Director or Vice President Monica.
And I'll second that.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'll second, oh wait.
Dave?
Maybe legal, Mr. Rosen, does this need to incorporate language that states that it's the chief's authorization up to including the amount with the 10%? Do we need to make sure that's in there?
I think it would be a good idea and a good point from the fire chief, so we would ask the motion maker if the intent is the staff's recommendation and then option 2, payment at delivery date.
I will amend my motion to include that.
Okay, so we have a motion for the staff's recommendation with option 2 of paying upon delivery. Motion by Vice President Monaco and a second by Director Evinger. All in favor? Aye. 5-0 votes.
And just for clarification, President Krieger, so the recommendation is for the board of directors to approve the encumbrance of funds associated with the purchase of a new Pierce tractor drawn aerial for Fire Station 68 in the amount not to exceed $2,124,985.46, inclusive of sales tax and a 10% contingency for change orders, and authorize the fire chief to execute all related purchase documents on behalf of the district, and this would be for option 2.
Option 2, payment upon delivery. That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, with that, we'll go on to Chief's comments.
Good evening, President Krieger, Vice President DeMonico, and Board. Under Board Activities and Public Relations, the Fire District hosted a fireworks safe surrender event on Saturday, July 9th, between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. at the Training Center. All fireworks were accepted with no questions asked. I would also like to say that our overall fire activity was down slightly that year, or this year, so that's a really good thing. Communities getting involved, utilizing the QR coding to make reporting, and I think although it was a very unfortunate situation that happened in Ontario, I think that really brought to light concerns from local community members to be a little bit more courageous to speak up and do the right thing. So we're very, very grateful to any community member who did reach out and let us know about any concerns. Under organizational items of interest, under recruitment update, I'm very proud and happy to say that our HR recruitment is moving forward. I had a meeting yesterday with Finance Director and our consultant, Dr. McAfee. We had 34 applications for the position. I looked over them, very, very highly qualified individuals. We've narrowed it down to 7 individuals that we will be interviewing on July 22nd. And with that, I'll turn the rest of the recruitment update over to our current interim HR consultant, Andrew Zay.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, President Krieger and members of the board. Quick recruitment update. I have all good news for you. Firefighter, paramedic, our 7 candidates have completed their recruitment process, and they are scheduled to start the orientation on Monday, July the 18th. Our lead fire equipment mechanic and fire equipment mechanic both have completed their background, and they're scheduled for onboarding on Monday, August the 1st. Our fire inspector candidate is now in background of the recruitment process. And lastly, our human resource specialist, that was the internal promotional position. Our identified candidate will assume the position on Monday, July the 18th. That concludes my report.
Fantastic.
Okay, moving on. Prior to moving on, I just want to say thank you very much to the board. There's been a lot of movement lately, and we've made a lot of asks of areas that we believe that are well overdue with all these promotions and placing of new positions. So thank you for that. Moving on for organizational items of interest, firefighter paramedic Gina Parlett participated in a girls empowerment camp hosted by Orange County Fire Authority on June 25th and June 26th. She was.
It's popping a little bit, and I couldn't hear you Chief. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Let me start over. Firefighter paramedic Gina Parlett participated in a girls empowerment camp hosted by Orange County Fire Authority on June 25th and June 26th. She was one of 50 female firefighter instructors from around California, mentoring girls between the ages of 14 and 18 who are interested in the fire service. The camp provided girls with a hands-on overview of firefighting. Over 60 campers participated both days. I'm not sure what's going on here. Over 60 campers participated both days and were shown the basics of climbing ladders, including a 100-foot aerial ladder, search and rescue, fire hose handling and control, rappelling, hands-on only CPR, ventilation, and chainsaw, and firefighter fitness. The girls were empowered to try new things to introduce the process of becoming a firefighter. So we're very grateful for her willingness. If for those of you that don't know, Gina is about 6-7 months with child. So her willingness to go out there and really, most of you that know me, I believe in women power. My mom was a single mom. I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but I appreciate Gina and her willingness to go out and do and show good work and really encourage young women to want to participate in our business. Long overdue, so thank you, Gina, if you have a chance to look at our board meeting. Under upcoming events, the ASBCSD monthly meeting is scheduled for July 18th at 6 p.m. in Highland. A Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for July 25th at 8 a.m.
A special board meeting is scheduled for July 27th at 4 p.m. here at Administration. The National Night Out event is scheduled for August 2nd from 5 to 9 p.m. and really look forward to taking board members around and enjoying and experiencing the community. And a special board meeting / workshop is scheduled for August 4th at 8 a.m. And that concludes my report.
Fantastic. We'll now do board member comments. We'll start to my left here. Director Evinger.
I get to start tonight.
You get to start.
All right. I attended, because of our Munson, at a couple city council meetings. I had a fire safe council meeting, and we actually had a representative from Vanguard Vets. We've been having someone come and do presentations for the members of the community each month and trying to give them resources to make their house a little safe for our community. So we've been doing that. So this is our second month of having a representative. I also attended the Chino Spectacular on Saturday the 2nd. It was I go every year, so I can't even say, and it was a wonderful event. Wonderful. I want to thank everybody. The 4th of July, although you said it was a little slower than usual, I was in Chino at my son's house, and it sure did not seem it slowed down. And I think he told me that he was up till at least like 2 in the morning with people still setting things off on the 4th. And thank everyone for your hard work. I know it was a lot upcoming too. I know it's not just a one-day thing. There's a lot of work that goes in planning with our local PD and our cities, and I just want to thank everyone for all their hard work and everybody who was on board and trying to keep our city safe. So with that, that's all. Thank you so much. Ryan's presentation, I'd be remiss to say it was amazing, amazing, amazing beyond. He just is so incredible. I love his passion, and we have the right person doing that job for us, and just everything about it. He is just transformed into an amazing program. And our new hires and also our anniversaries, our 15 and our 30 year. That's all. Thank you.
Fantastic. Director Williams.
Nope. Caught me by surprise there a little bit. Thank you very much. I did go to the 4th of July event from Chino Hills. I didn't get up on stage because I was a little late. Had a minor problem there with just a little one with my wife, but everything was fine. It was just medical. It wasn't personal or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, I went to that, and I did go to the CSDA meeting. That was very good. I always like that because I usually talk to the different people there and talk about different stuff. And I had a meeting with the chief, and the chief informed me that I was the only board member that's ever ridden in his vehicle, and the only one that he has taken out to the site of Station 8, and I want to thank you very much for that. Now you're in trouble because they're going to get you for that. But it was very informative. The chief is very knowledgeable about the stuff going on with that property. I mean, he is got a lot of information on that. Unbelievable. The stuff he was talking about, the water flows and the different things. It's very good, Chief, and I want to compliment you on your knowledge on that stuff. Thank you. And I think that was about it. I did listen in on the Board of Supervisors meeting, and Kurt wasn't there the meeting after the election. I don't blame him. He was probably celebrating or something. But and then it was a very short meeting, and then it was a pretty short meeting. I think it was yesterday that they had it, or 2 days ago. I can't remember, but they had like 12 pages of where it's consent calendar And I thought, oh man, this is gonna be a long meeting. And that one was pretty short too, so, surprising to me. And, but I really got a kick out of listening to Supervisor Cook. He was talking about the hospital there, and you know, he's a little older guy, and he's pretty funny. He was a old Marine guy, and talking about being in the hospital there at Arrowhead, and he had to go pee. And that's the way he said it. He says, I had to pee. And he says he tried to get over the gate and fell out and disconnected all his tubes and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of interesting when he was talking about it. And I didn't quite get his deal because, you know, they were talking about the hospital being a very good hospital. And I just thought that was rather interesting. And so, 4th of July, like you said, a lot of activity. I think they ought to handle the 4th of July kind of like they do pot. You know, I've never smoked pot, but everybody wanted to do it, so they kind of legalized it. And, you know, they just need to pick out a spot somewhere and have it grassy and everything and say, bring that stuff here and use it. I mean, I mean, the show I got at my house put every other show to shame, and I'm not supposed to enjoy it, and I'm not supposed to like it, and all that kind of stuff, but I can't help it. I like fireworks, and I know that they're can be unsafe and all that kind of stuff, but they sure are pretty, and that's about all I want to say. Thanks.
Thanks, Judge Williams. Judge Leaf.
Thank you. Couple Chino Council meetings, San Bernardino Airport Commission meeting attended, and yet to our service awards, 15 years, 30 years, that's pretty impressive. So congratulations to them, to our new hires, Mark. Your kids behaved pretty well. I know you were a little concerned about that, but they did great back there, and Emily. So welcome aboard. Look forward to many years of your support and efforts on all our behalf. So thank you for joining us. And like Art said, wow, what a meaning to recognize hometown heroes and to see the results of the efforts, the investment and the efforts of this district. It's just a wow. I hope we have more of those, many more of those. It is just awesome. Ryan does a great job of presenting it and recognizing the folks that were involved. Just wonderful. And let's see here. Yeah, and then the 4th too. Yeah, I just want to, also I agree. Thank you to everybody in the district. And it's gotta be not something people look forward to being involved in, because you just don't know how crazy it's going to get and what you're going to have to deal with. And so I just appreciate everybody's efforts and willingness to get out there and do the job while others are home relaxing and enjoying, and our folks are out there on the just doing the job that we need them to do. So thank you for that, and that's the end of my comments.
Thank you. Vice President Tamanka.
Sure, yes. I attended a few meetings this month as well. Chino City Council, IEUA, listened in on the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors meeting, and that public communications part of those meetings can be quite entertaining. And to answer,
the guy with the clown doesn't show up anymore.
He doesn't show up anymore, but there were a couple others there that weren't dressed. And I probably shouldn't say that, but I did. In reference to Mr. Williams' remarks about the supervisor that had to go to the bathroom, the comment that was made that I think is really important that came out of that was that a number of accidents in a hospital occur because patients try to get out of bed by themselves and go to the bathroom. So it just never occurred to me before, and I kind of thought about that for a second, and I thought, well, it's going to make me ring my button a whole lot more if I go to the hospital and need help, because to prevent that type of fall, just because you have to go to the bathroom, you shouldn't take that chance. But that was the whole point of that comment. Did attend a finance committee meeting and agenda review meeting. With that being said, I want to thank the district and staff and both police departments on their diligent work this year. The 4th of July has changed over the years. 40 years ago, the smoke level in all cities would be down to the curb, and now with just very few places allowing fireworks, it's not, the legal fireworks are not near what they used to be, but the illegal fireworks out there are still out there, and that's probably our biggest threat anymore. Do want to congratulate our service awards. I just want to say one little thing about Jeff Herringer, 30 years. I had the privilege of serving with Jeff in Hawthorne when I worked in Hawthorne, so he and I worked together long before either one of us became part of this district, and quite a guy. And all our new hires, I'm congratulating them on coming on board. Mark, it's nice to have you on board. Nice to have you in our meetings and good to see you. Trying to see if I missed anything. Our Hometown Hero Award. Art, you said it best. It's a phenomenal thing. We'll go back a few years. This board invested heavily into the cardiac care program. And I am so proud of this district and so proud of the fact that we are saving lives and that our average is way above the national average and even local averages on our residents. And I just feel that our residents deserve that, and I'm so happy that we as a board were able to give that to them, and I'm so proud of our guys to be able to provide that service and a community for stepping in. One of the things that wasn't said, I don't know about Pulse Point. The Pulse Point app is a good app for people to have it. Let you know if an incident happens close or whatever, and if you're inclined to assist or be a good Samaritan, you can do that. I won't get into any more on that. We can probably do something more on that later on, but that concludes my comments.
That's fantastic, thank you. I had many meetings as well, the finance meeting with Vice President Monica, the agenda review, met with the chief individually, school board meetings, Chino Hill City Council meetings that are always fun. I went to the Chino Hills 4th of July and gave a little patriotic speech up there on the stage. And I as well want to welcome Mark to our dais up here. I really look forward to working with you. I asked a lot of ridiculous finance questions, so you'll learn to love it, I'm sure. But thank you for being here. We really are looking forward to having you part of the team. And the Hometown Hero thing, I mean, you look up the board of 34 coins there. You know, if we saved one life, it would be extraordinary. 34 is phenomenal. It's just, it's awesome. So congratulations to everybody on that, and to those everybody who we celebrated tonight with their anniversaries with the fire district. And a special shout out to Jeff Herringer as well. Super nice guy, and 30 years here is fantastic. So with that, we will adjourn the meeting to a regular meeting of the Board of Directors. I'm sure I have to read this here properly. It's to be held on Wednesday, August 10th, 2022 at 6:00 p.m. here at District Headquarters. Wonderful evening.